beauties. So today I wanted to do a more full coverage or medium to full coverage foundation routine. I feel like most of the time I really just try to even out my skin and just try to get everything, like just go for my problem areas and just kind of even everything out. But I also think it's good to have the ability to really do a full face of makeup if you want, especially if you're going to a wedding or some type of event where you just want to have a full face of makeup and you want to know that it's going to stay. So we are going to do that today. So I have already moisturized with my Divine Daily Moisturizer. Oh yeah, look at that. Woo. And then I used the Glorious Face and Eye Primer. And after I did the primer, I waited like 10 minutes before I am applying my base makeup, just to try to make sure that it, it was able to go into the fine lines and the pores and get it kind of settled into your skin before you put any makeup on top of it. So during that 10 minutes, I fed and visited my virtual cats. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about them while we do makeup, because that's what we do. Okay, so today I will be using a couple of things. Because I wanted to share kind of all the options that you have as far as giving yourself like the most coverage on your face, on your skin. So of course the most full coverage thing that we have is the amazing Skin Perfecting Concealer. So I have Organza, that's my color. So this is the most coverage. This is the one that you can put and cover a tattoo up with. Like, it's amazing. But obviously you don't want this all over your entire face, because that's just not what it's for. So it's really for spot concealing, but this can absolutely be mixed with the liquid foundation to kind of give it a I guess like mix of the consistencies so that you do have more coverage, but you still have just like the flawless look of a foundation. And again, this dries to like a matte finish. So that's a good way to kind of mix them together and get more coverage. So that is what we're gonna do first today. And then afterwards, I'll show you what else you could do. So I'm gonna use my liquid foundation brush. I'm sorry, it's fascinating. Like it's like a brush from space. It's insane. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna alternate, you know how I put like dots on, I usually do like dots on my face or dots on the brush. So we're gonna do dots on the brush, but I'm gonna do some dots of the concealer. So I know that there are different textures, and that is okay because I will just kind of buff them in on my skin. But by mixing the concealer in to the foundation, I'm just gonna get a lot more coverage. It's really gonna even out my skin tone more and cover up anything I don't want to be seen. So I definitely have some redness. That's kind of how it goes. And I have a lot of freckles, which I don't have hate for my freckles. I like my freckles, actually. But if you were trying to cover them up, this will do it. Okay. So now that I have put some foundation and some concealer, woo, right onto there. So now I'm gonna do, so I tried to work out the mirror so that it's in a decent place. Okay, so my areas of, I guess like redness and my areas of need for coverage are usually where I will dot the makeup. So I would say my nose, my forehead, my chin, and then like close to the center of my face is where I have problems. So I have just applied the makeup. So now I'm just gonna start buffing it in. Guys, this is actually a really great match for my skin, Organza. So if you've seen pictures of me and you're not sure what color to go, if you are pale with a cool undertone, which means that your veins are like purple and blue, and your skin is more pinkish red, it's not really yellowish, then you are a cool toned gal, and Organza is one of the cooler tones. Okay, and I'm going to take pictures of this, obviously, afterwards, so that you can see a before and after, and so that you can just in general see how like smooth and how thorough the coverage is. And this brush is so soft. Just blend it in. And again, this is full coverage now. I go down a little bit on the neck, but hopefully your foundation is close enough to your face and body and, you know, person that you don't really have to like blend it in too much. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have to, like, you know, I know you're supposed to blend into your neck, but if it's still a completely different color than you, even if you blend it into your neck, you're not gonna look right. So that's an important part. Okay, so this is a full coverage look. So let me, I'm gonna zoom in, okay, so brace yourselves. I think it goes quick, it does. Okay, so this is a full coverage, or full to medium coverage on my skin, okay? Now, I still have my under eye area because it was a mix, but you can see that it has completely covered up any of the redness that I had. You guys are gonna be like, whoa, this is too much, Jen. Covered up any of the redness that I had, and all of the freckles except for the ones under my eyes, because they just like to make a statement. They don't like to go out without a fight. But this is an absolutely and completely full coverage routine for your face. Now, this is mixing two products, obviously. There is a way to use, there are two different ways to use our products to get a full coverage and not have to go through two different products. And the way to do that is through the Mineral Touch Pressed Powder or the Mineral Touch Cream foundation. So you would choose the cream if you have drier skin, and you would go with the pressed powder if you have more oily skin. Now what I do still is use the powder, and it comes with a great, like this is a dream, and then it kind of opens up and there's the powder. It comes with this, which is great to use. But another thing is, a lot of times we use powder to set our foundations, and that's totally fine. So I would use like a loose brush, like a loose powder brush. So I'm gonna use my blusher brush because I just happen to have that on hand. And what I will do is because I've used this all over my skin and I want full coverage, I want it to last and not melt through the day, I am going to put powder on top of it to help to set it. And of course this powder has coverage in it, so it's going to also help to cover my skin. So this will prevent any oiliness from occurring, and again, every color I've used on my face so far has been Organza. They do say that the pressed powder runs a little light, but I find it pretty true to the actual Organza color. So now normally if you're just doing a regular everyday look, you would only use the powder to give you extra support in the areas that you concealed, just to stop them from moving. But in this case, since we're trying to get the whole face and we really just want it to stay put, and we